Keep a look up for the mic, I'm running just in case.
Page 3. We're at page 3. Okay, so up to this second Yechav Das. This is the Rav Avadia again. Let's see the Sheila in Dalit. Sheila. Lefi min hagas Sfaradim. Shonim amein achar atzmam b'berkat hashomeret amo Yisrael la'ad. The Sfaradim answer amein to their own brachos. The Ashkenazim only do that by Bonei Brachamav Yerushalayim amein. In benching, the Sfaradim also do it by Shomer amo Yisrael la'ad. So they say amein afterwards. U'kamoshin yitbareb divrei Maran b'Shulchan Aruch, like the Mechaber says. Now, an individual said amen to his own bracha before the chazan said the end of the bracha. And then the shliach tzibur was messiah. Now, you know, V'nei Yerushalayim, where it comes up frequently, so you're supposed to say B'nei Brachmav Yerushalayim, amen, and say amen together with the mezamin, right? Supposed to wait to say amen and say at the same time the mezamin says amen.
Why do you have to say that?
They take 5. There are 5. No. That's the beginning of my calculation.
That's my question.
So page 3.
I didn't finish my question.
Yeah. Well,
why do you have to? What's the purpose? After each person's updating the bracha.
To which?
No. Yes. It says in the Sutra answer amen.
No, it doesn't.
No, you're supposed to say.
It's amen.
You're supposed to say amen together with him.
Why?
No, even if you're done by yourself, you still say amen together with him.
Yeah, you do, because no issue of hefsek there. But here's a question of hefsek ben gula tefillah. There by B'nei Brachmav Yerushalayim amen, if you finish early, so you can say amen with him, right?
If you don't finish,
but
you don't say
you shouldn't
where?
have to finish with him.
If he gets B'nei Yerushalayim before you do, you don't say amen.
Whenever
Of course you say amen.
Whenever, like Sfardim also won't say amen to the first bracha.
The first bracha is not B'nei Yerushalayim.
No, but I'm saying all of the brachot, Sfardim won't say amen.
No, that's not true.
What do you mean they won't say amen? Why would they say amen?
You'll say amen if you're not benching. If you are saying Birkat Hamazon at the same time as the other person, you don't say amen.
Oh, because you're saying the milah word for word.
No.
You're saying together, no?
No.
You hear the bracha, you don't say amen?
Yes, no.
Where did you get this from?
This is the bracha that
What?
Every Ashkenazi.
You go to any Sefardi, nobody ever answers amen to any bracha.
How could this be?
It's always been the same.
You need to get out of
When you go to a Sefardi shul,
What?
When you go to a Sefardi shul, they usually don't say it out loud either because they don't even say amen.
New challenge.
Sfardim don't say amen there. Just like during
It's very bad.
During tefillah, also during
when you say the first bracha of Shema over here, we also say amen.
What?
The first bracha of Shema when they say in the shul.
That's where you're supposed to do it. That's where here they do it. The place they do it together.
No, but Ashkenazi answer amen. We never answer amen.
We don't say amen there.
We never say amen.
That's why we also say Gal Yisrael out loud because nobody's gonna say amen because we never say amen.
Anyways, what's the story of B'nai Yerushalayim? No, B'nai Yerushalayim.
Listen, I don't see any reason for that. I think you guys are making it up.
No way.
Okay, well, you'll see after this. We'll work our way back to benching, okay? Okay. So the question is, does he answer or not? Now the real question is because of hefsek ben gula l'tefillah, right? So he starts with that. It starts off his tshuva with v'chora lefi ma shamu chazal v'vrachot davdal amud beit eizu ben olam haba zeh asomech gula l'tefillah shel arvit. Says there should be a person who is a person is a ben olam haba if they connect gula tefillah at night. In Cain, ein lapsik maniata made l'shliach tzibur. Yeah, specifically at night. In the morning, it's not. In the morning, there are other promises, but at night, it's ben olam haba. So v'dayo maniata made achar etzmo. So it's enough you answer made to yourself. You shouldn't answer additional main, which would be a hefsek. V'chein pasak v'ben ishchai. Say ben ishchai she'en lanot amen. The brachot achar birkat hashkivenu. Why should tzrichli smoch barvit kula l'tfilah? L'chein, and therefore, according to Ben Ishchai, ein lanot amen achar berkat shomer damo Yisrael la'ad, shomer shliach tzibur. Ulam, however, b'tshuvat HaRashba katav, shanogim shliach tzibur, machlis yalev yavo b'leilosh chodesh, ben geula l'tfilah, in many shuls, and they announce, yalev yavo, at night, right before Shmona Esrei, it's not proper to protest this. Came which mean Yanhat Tefillah because it is a matter of the davening. Amru Brochos, like it says, Shomer Achar Birchat HaMotzi Lifnei HaTimah To Broch. If I say after Hamotzi, before I taste, or before take the bread. So this is a very after Hamotzi. I say to somebody, here, take your piece of bread and make a bracha. Ain't no sake. Shechashuv minyan bracha, because it's considered to be like the bracha, as a part and parcel of the matter of the bracha. The koshkin gabei tfilat avichi reshut, especially vis-a-vis marib, which is optional. The koshkin minyan aniyat tamid shota bracha. This is Rav Avadia speaking. It stands to reason that to say amen to that bracha she'eino nechshav hefsek. It's not considered hefsek. Kamivuar b'divrei haramah b'hagah. This is like the Ramah says, even though it's Rav Avadia passing here, but the Ramah, he brings down, the Ramah, he's saying, is a Yisoid, which even Sefardim don't disagree with. And the Amen have the same bracha, she will not be considered to be a hefsek. Okay? So, he's going to ask a question on this in a minute, but in the meantime, he's arguing the Ben Ish Chai. On the basis of the Rashba, he's arguing the Ben Ish Chai. Now I want to add something here, which is, I am not, how should I put this in a way which is politically correct? I am not a, no, that's not what I wanted to say. I am not as stringent about being some Megillah Tefillah at night as some people might be, because the Yerushalmi holds you're not supposed to be some Megillah Tefillah. The Yerushalmi holds that Tefillos be'emtza tiknum, that the Shemona Esreis are sandwiched between the two Shmas. So according to Yerushalmi, you would say in the morning Shema, then Shemona Esrei, like we do, and at night Shemona Esrei, then Shema, which is where we get the Kula, that if you're late to shul, you can start for Shemona Esrei right away, right, at night, and then say Kriya Shema and the brachas afterwards. What? No, there is, the Yerushalmi's Chiddush is that even though there's Geula, it's better.
But you have Ashkenazi and you have a Kaddish that sort of separates the Geula already to the Shemona Esrei.
No, so that's what the Rashba is saying. That's a little bit along the lines of Rashba. Rashba doesn't say it, but it's along the lines of the Rashba, right? That it's not as stringent a requirement. Geula Tefillah at night, as it is in the morning. That's true. But I'm adding another thing. Now, the next verse we have it bold on the same page. The line before that, he says, "Lichora tik shelei medivrei panim mirot atzmo." The panim is asking. In the middle he quoted a panim miros, but it's not important for us right now. What? Page 3. Oh, in the middle, the one line which is bold in the middle of the paragraph.
Knowledge?
Yeah.
Knowledge?
Yeah. So the panim miros had said that if you put on tefillin shel yad and you hear a bracha laniach tefillin from somebody else, so then you can, and you're an Ashkenazi, obviously, is going to make a mitzvah tefillin as well, so then you can still not remain, even though you don't need to, because it's the same bracha, it's not a hefsek. So he asks the question. He says, wait a minute. The Panamiros paskin that if you made a Bori Bri Agafen, and before you got to drink, this happens very frequently when lots of people make Kiddush, right? Before you got to drink, you hear somebody else say Amen. Not allowed to be, not, it's a bracha. Even the Bori Bri Agafen, you can't make a hefsek. You have to first drink your wine. Hamotzi would be the same thing, it would seem, right? What?
There's some halach l'maisa?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because people aren't careful about this.
That's what you was.
What?
People aren't careful about this.
No, they're not.
No. Rabbit. Even hamotzi.
Yeah.
And what if you do? Can you do bracha?
What?
You say your own bracha then?
Yeah, you have to make your own bracha over again, right?
I need to see this in the
So he wants to say that it could be that tefillin are different. That tefillin because there's still, the mitzvah is still going on. It's a mitzvah nimsheches, right? It's an ongoing mitzvah, especially if you, so you haven't yet wrapped the tefillin on your arm. There's a constant mitzvah of wearing tefillin. So therefore, the amen can go on your putting on the tefillin, the mitzvah, which you're now doing again, and again, and again, and again. Because it's a mitzvah which is?
How between the yad and the rosh? Is there make another rosh?
No. Oh, the mitzvah still, no. Because then that you're...
I'm just making sure.
It's saying only the same bracha.
The same bracha?
Yeah, but learning up tefillin. So now, that would be, he says, maybe there goes to the mitzvah, which is ongoing, so therefore you can answer amen. But here, where here, birchas hanenin, if you want to be yotze with that birchas hanenin, you have to make the connection, because it's not ongoing, right? You haven't had the anoah yet, right? And once you have the anoah, you don't have to make it's not a question anymore. So therefore, you can't interrupt between the bracha with which you're yotze and you're eating. So the birchas hanenin should take effect on the food you're about to eat. Okay, so no interruptions. Okay? Now, he says that this is only an issue, therefore, by birchas hanenin. And it's not, according to the putting yourself, at least it's not an issue by birchas hamitzvah. And he says that this is definitely the case by birchas kriyashma. Why is that? Because birchas kriyashma, we have this whole set of principles in Maseches Brochos. When he can interrupt me now yira, when he can interrupt me now kavod, either because you're afraid of someone or because you want to respect someone. So we see that they put in to the birchos kriyashma rules of interruption under the right circumstances, the right place. And therefore he says that's why you're allowed to answer amen. And then he says, in the last place where it's bolded on this page, Ugdolami zu katav agon Rabbi Avram David mi Bochach v'sefer shel Avram Madurat Inyana shemutar lanot baruch u'baruch shmo ben gula l'tfilah sharpit. Wow! The Eish Avram says you can even answer baruch u'baruch shmo. V'chein katav mizgeret hazav kisur shacharuf v'sefer v'chein v'sefer Be'er Yaakov. A bunch of other people wrote it all as well. But Rav Ovadia does not like that. Ulam niresh hifrizu al amidah bazeh. They overfilled the measure. שכתב מגן אברהם, שבכל מקום שאינו רשאי להפסיק בדיבור, אסור לענות ברוך וברוך שמו. So he himself disagrees with Rav Ovadia, based on Magen Avraham, because Baruch Shema we know is made up, right? It's not in the Gemara, it's not even the Goinim, the Rosh I think is the first one to mention such a custom, and therefore it's not something which is essential, and therefore it's not worthy of any interruption. So therefore he himself says not to do it. Okay? And he says that, anyway, so he says that, that's not to say Baruch Shmo. Turn to page 4. He also says, in the top line here, Shavadai Gam Psukei Zimra Shemutar Lanot Amen de Brachot, Kamvar Beit Yosef or Chaim Ziman Nunalov, Im Mil Psukei Zimra, also Mil Psukei Zimra, where you're allowed to answer to other brachos. Asur lapstik lomar baruch u'baruch shmo. You can't be mafsik and say baruch u'baruch shmo because it's not no better for in terms of halacha than talking. Okay? Okay, so far so good?
Yeah.
Halacha ma'aseh, yeah. So, if that's the case, Rav Ovadia holds, you should answer amen to Ashkenazi. To Shemar Moisarad, even you already said amen your own amen, because it has to do with the davening, right? It's main hatfilah, and also because you we're more lenient by have say ben gula tefillah at night. But now he goes further. Next, beginning of the second paragraph. Yeta okay. Moreover, Nireli, seems to me, Shemigdim Hayachid et Shliach Tzibur. Shemigdim Hayachid et Shliach Tzibur. If the Yachid finished before Shliach Tzibur, L'char Shesiyem Bekat Ashkivenu, and he was zooming. He finished Ashkenazi, and the Shliach Tzibur is still back at Gal Yisrael. And so therefore, Shamami Shliach Tzibur Shemesayim Bruchat Hashem Gal Yisrael Shlifnei Birkat Ashkenazi. Rashai Lanot Acharav Amen. Yes.
What did he say?
He says, if you hear somebody say Gal Yisrael, you're zooming ahead of the Shliach Tzibur, right? You hear him say Gal Yisrael after you said Shomer Yisrael Ad Amen, right? So then you still answer Amen to Gal Yisrael.
You should.
You should. What? No, you should.
You should. Rasha is not giving permission to do it, no?
What?
Rasha is not a shoot.
Just a second. 1 second. Look at the next line.
Why would you think not?
Why I think not? Because not that bracha. If it's that bracha, so I understand, right? It's not answered because it's Amen on that bracha. Like the Panamiro said, here made Laniach film, here another Laniach film, and answer Amen. But this is not the same bracha. But the Rav Adi, he's just winding up here. He's winding up to pitch. The pitch is in the next line. He says, Vehu hadin lechol amen di brachot. Oh. Every single amen to any bracha. That's what he said. Any brachot. Shakoni evi varot. If you hear between Ashkenazi and Shmon Esrei, Shakoni evi varot, the answer amen. I'm not making this up. He said, Sharei b'tshuvat Rashba chelakei katav hakorei kriyat shema birchotea. Somebody who's reading kriyat shema with the brachos posek lanot kadishu kedusha modim. He interrupts to answer to kaddish kedusha and modim afilu be'emtza perek, even in the middle of a paragraph. Vein tzarich lomar ben perek. The perek goes without saying between brakim. Since he's allowed to respond mibnei kavod ben aprakim, even if he's allowed to respond even to somebody who just honors, not somebody who's afraid of. Kol shekei l'kedusha u'modim. Certainly goes without saying kedusha u'modim, which are covered Hashem. But va'afilu im ba'lanot amen l'brachot shel tfilat Shmoneh Esrei rashai. If he wants to answer amen to the brachos of Shmoneh Esrei.
The Tzibur is already in Shmoneh Esrei.
Chazar Hashatz.
And he's doing the Shema still?
Yeah. He's behind, yeah.
He's allowed to do in the middle of the brachos?
No. Between brachos, he can say amen to brachos. Yes.
But here we said, before we said...
Between. After Shema Moisa Lad, it's between. Okay? So he said... and I want to read now what it says in the next line, even though I didn't bold it. It says it later on again, but he says, V'chein katav prima gadim v'abereitei, v'gam b'sefer nezirut shimshon, whoever that is, katav, shelafia mivwar bezohar parshat v'yelech, and it says in the Zohar HaKadosh, Godel on shosha shameh bracha ve'no oneh amen. There's a terrible punishment for somebody who hears a bracha and doesn't say amen. What?
How's your punishment of Son of Meir?
It's a Chil Hashem. Because if you hear a bracha, you're supposed to affirm it.
To Hashem himself?
What?
To Hashem?
Yeah. So this, it's considered sakana, not to answer amen. Nir elish mutar anot amen de brachot b'kriyat shema brachotea. Vein raya mima shekatvu ha'poskim she'en lanot ki lo ra'u divrei hazohar. This the zero shimshon thing. Neither is Rabbi Vadia. But he's saying that since the Zohar says this, we rely on the heter, which is to say the brachos, which comes from the poskim, not from the Zohar, so therefore we take the Zohar into account and say amen.
So after saying the Shmonas Piyagyon, right, and you're allowed, what can you say amen for everything now?
What?
After when you finish the Shmonas, you say Hegyon.
No.
No, but at the end one, the last one, yeah.
Right. After the second Yiratzon.
Yeah.
Huh?
After the second one or the first one?
No, after the first one.
No.
You can say amen to brachot.
No. Only Kel Kadosh, Shomei Tefillah. What?
Only the first two amen, third.
Kel Kadosh, Shomei Tefillah. And the Modim Anachulach. Baruch Hu,
So
yes.
why not?
Because Shemona Esrei is not over yet. Shemona Esrei is more common than Shema.
Some say that after you say it,
No, nobody says after that. After the second Yiratzon, they say.
yeah? How come you're allowed to say for the rest of the stuff? And
That's Davar Shebekdusha is a higher madrig than answering Amen.
So you said the same thing in the middle of Shemona Esrei. Even if you didn't say it before.
No, Shemona Esrei you don't answer Davar Shebekdusha. You're just silent and you listen.
But it's also, if you didn't say this pasuk, or say the Hegyon, right? And you just continue without saying it, you're also not allowed to say, even though you're in that section already.
No, you are. Dvarim Shebekdusha, you're supposed to say the pasuk, but if you didn't say Dvarim Shebekdusha, you answer anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
After the bracha?
Yeah. After Berechos HaMoed Yisrael Shalom. Yeah. Okay? So, he wants, now the truth is, the Ravadi takes it even further. He goes, he brings down, Reb Chaim, actually not he, but he brings down Reb Chaim Palaji, in Lishmat Chochai. He doesn't pass this way himself. He says, Aval Chanire, She'af Be'emtza Perek Yesh Lanot. You can answer Amen to Brochos in the middle of the Perek. Yeah. Kishim Furash Kim Tshuva Terashbach Elokei. Now, we'll be so above. Ubifracha Zohar Kodesh Kichmir Ma'od. Vonish Mishon now Amen to Brochos. Masha Dachama Amar Mordechai B'zei No D'chia Klau. And he brings down the Kaf HaChaim, also pasking that way, to say Amen in the middle. The Ravadi of himself says no. Ava b'shanu nagi kedat maramas yatosh ave ben abrakim ein lanot Amen de brachot. Right? We don't answer Amen. He says we don't answer Amen ben abrakim to regular brachos. Right? Not like the Mekilim, but he says we're not going to add on that. It should be more mekel. Do you know that there's this halacha? This is brought down in the halacha. We don't know this because it's obscure, but maybe you've heard it. On Shabbos, you're supposed to be. If you hear God Yisrael out loud, you're supposed to answer Amen.
When?
Shabbos, if you don't, on a weekday, let's say you finish God Yisrael before Shliach Tzibur, right? Before Shliach Tzibur.
Right.
So then, a weekday, you're not supposed to answer Amen when he goes God Yisrael. What?
He's not supposed to say it loud, so people won't feel.
Right, but let's say he did. Okay, so then you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to say. He's supposed to say it audibly, even though he says it softly. He's supposed to say it audibly. So let's say he said, you said God Yisrael, then you have a couple of seconds, and then he says God Yisrael. So on a weekday, you're not supposed to answer Amen, because it says anybody slamach tefillah ain't no niso kol soyom. He's not doesn't get harmed that entire day.
Shocker.
Yeah, but on Shabbos, we're not afraid of mazikin. Shabbos, they're not going out to work. So you don't need the same shmira. So therefore on Shabbos, the halacha is different. On Shabbos, if you get the guy...
I'll tell you why, because there's the Gemara speaks about that when they used to down out in the open fields, they added the whole kiddush after...
That's at night. At night.
Shabbos, what's so different does it make night? Shabbos is Shabbos. But Shabbos only, it goes by daytime Shabbos, like night, we're afraid, daytime we're fine.
Yeah. They weren't afraid because they're out in the fields, they're afraid because it's nighttime.
It says in Ezekiel, that's the robbers.
What?
It says in Ezekiel, it's saying robbers.
But during the daytime, brought there, we're not afraid of things. So listen, I'm not making this up. I did not.
When we say God Yisrael, we don't say Amen ever.
So on Shabbos, you should. Although, I'm sorry, Shabbos, the opinion is that you should. It's best, therefore, to be Messiah in a way that you're not free to say Amen when they say God Yisrael. You have to say it together, or to start Shemona Esrei a little bit before, so therefore not in that situation.
What about very often we're starting all together?
You
can start a split second earlier. Say Hashem, and then they'll say Hashem a split second later.
When you say Hashem Sasat Yiftach V'Gitei Secha, then that count that you started that Tefillah Shemona Esrei, right?
Yeah.
And after that I can have delay and have kavanah for something else?
What do you mean?
I I used to have kavana every time before I do it, after Gal Israel, that I'm mekaven that all my tefillah is going to be mekuvan to Eretz Israel, Yerushalayim, Beit HaMikdash, Kodesh HaKodeshim, Sham mitkavim kol tefillos. Somebody told me this will be in Hefsek.
It's a split second, isn't it?
Whatever it is, I don't know, but they told me. So now I say Hashem Tzvat HaTiftach B'Mikdachem, and then I have this.
No, you can still before. It's okay.
Yeah?
So it's fine.
It's also for the tefillah, no?
Yeah, it's Sarach HaTfilah, but Mike said it's just as since you're thinking it, if it's a second or two, it's not a half second. Yeah.
So if you don't something, you're not going to get hurt all day.
If you do something.
You're not going to get hurt all day.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Right, but on Shabbos you don't need it. That's what they say. We showed him saying, I'm not making this up. Right?
But if you don't, you will get hurt.
Yeah, but on Shabbos we're not afraid you're going to get hurt because you don't go out to burn work. Okay? Yossi, do you want to pay your handout? Okay, so, but, alright, but he says, again, Mikomakom, have a low sifala. We're not, shouldn't be so mad like me, but say, Gam Begul Tfil Sharvit, Shamish Lakel, tell me, Ben Brakim Shukriach my Birchotel. So therefore, Lachain Yesh Larot. Therefore, it is proper to paskin. Sheben Gulal Tfila Shel Arvit, between Gul and Tfila of Mariv, La'ui Lanot Amen de Brachot. It's proper to answer Amen to every bracha. What? Bravo,
Oh, so the point is fine. What about Ashkenaz?
what? It's Kolshkin.
Huh?
It's Kolshkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he says, in brackets, V'Ravagon, Rabbi Yaakov Sofer, V'Kaf HaChaim, Katav, V'Davka B'Dibur Asul of Sivin Shmonesei Psukim, Shomei Megul Tfilah Shel Arvit. Now this is interesting. From here you see the Kaf HaChaim said Baruch Hashem Liolam at some point in his career. I mentioned this last night. Kaf HaChaim said, because here it talks about what you can be mafsik during those 18 psukim, which constitutes Baruch Hashem Liolam. So he says, what you're not to be mafsikin is by talking. Okay? Baruch Hashem Liolam. In these 18 psukim, Sheben Gul Tfilah Sharvit, Baruch Hashem Liolam. Avlanot, Kadish, Ukdusha, V'Amein, Pashut Shemutar. It's what? Any Amen. No, well, let's see. It's no different than Krishma and its brachos. That's gone. Seems like he would say, Shlomo, that he was all Amen's a brachos. He says you have to interrupt. But from that he concludes it's no better than Shema and its brachos. There's only allowing the Amen of Kaddish, which is which is the Amen we're lenient in Birkos Kriya Shema. But you can say that's only when you're ready in the middle Baruch Hashem Shalom Yolam. And there it's more stringent, because those 18 psukim are a microcosm of Shmoneh Esrei. Ava ben Gulat Tfilah Shel Arvit Yesh Lanot Gam Amen de Brachot. V'afilu lo yisbar Kaf HaChaim Chen Kei. And even if the Kaf HaChaim doesn't agree with me, Ha'ikar la'alacha sheyesh lanot. The primary halacha is that you should answer. Now, based on everything we've seen, that Baruch Hashem Liolam is a legitimate bracha, and even a ben Eretz Yisrael who's in Chutz La'aretz can't say the bracha, just like Ravadi, although he said you can't make a bracha on Hallel if you're a Sefardi on Rosh Chodesh. But that's only in Eretz Yisrael where the Ashkenazim came and did the wrong thing anyway. But in Chutz La'aretz, where there's no such issue, you could actually be the leader of the tzibur, like the Chidah said. And it stands to reason also that Baruch Hashem Liolam you could also do, again, in Chutz La'aretz, where it's not where it's a proper minhag, not Eretz Yisrael, where it would be considered a wrong minhag. So therefore, and we also saw, that you answer Amen to all brachos between Gul and Tfilah Mariv. So therefore, the bracha they're saying is a legitimate bracha. The Zohar, it's Me'ein Tfilah also, because it's a Me'ein Shmoneh Esrei, that bracha, right? This is he just said.
He said that it's a legitimate bracha?
He said it's Me'ein Shmoneh Esrei. The Kaf HaChaim, he's quoting, it says Me'ein Shmoneh Esrei, right?
We used to sing.
And the Zohar Kodesh is very machmir by saying Amen. And Mavadi is matir other brachas, even with those which are not Mein Atfila. So Kol Shekain, that you should say Amen if you're a Sefardi or somebody else has a minhag, like myself, to say Baruch Hashem Li'olam. Nevertheless, Amen you should say. That is clear. Do you want to hear the logic again, or does it follows?
Yes. Can you build it up from the top to the bottom?
Let me record it.
What?
Listen to this. Listen to
Let me
this.
just get the recorder on. Came in just in time.
Keep the lights here.
What I miss? When did it begin? Following.
The only time a Sefardi does not make a bracha, which as a shliach tzibur, which are Ashkenazi, in Ashkenazi minion, which the Ashkenazi make, according to Rav Avadia, is where the minhag Ashkenaz is a mistake. It's a mistake from the Sefardi perspective. For example, if an Ashkenazi says a bracha on Rosh Chodesh, Halo, in Eretz Yisrael, according to Rav Avadia, it's a mistake, and therefore a Sefardi who took the Amr should not say the bracha on the Halo.
You should not answer Amen as well.
Sorry?
You should not answer Amen.
You should not answer Amen as
I
well.
don't understand. What's the... He also we're not supposed to say Baruch Atah Hashem Nidvan V'Kodeh Ta'aleh? On Rosh
On Rosh Chodesh, yeah.
Only on Yom Tov?
Yeah, the Sephardim hold. Yeah.
You guys also say different bracha than this.
What?
So
You guys also say different
do
bracha.
they don't say the whole Hallel at all? Or you say the
They
Hallel?
say the Halo, Chatzi Halo. They don't say a bracha Chatzi Halo. Also, the last 8 days of Pesach, 6 days of Pesach. Okay?
So they say
Because our bracha is ligmor, to finish.
The crow.
No, ours is...
Yours is Ligmor?
Which is why
Okay.
we hold that yours is also...
Okay, makes sense. So, but that only, says Rav Avadia, where the minhag is a minhag tos. Where the minhag is a legitimate minhag hamakom. Like the Chidah said, if you're a Sefardi going to Chutz La'aretz, there you can't say Baruch Hashem Li'olam if you're Shliach Tzibur. So you can't say, say bracha on Rosh Chodesh if you're the Shliach Tzibur. The B'tzelach Chochmah said a similar thing by Baruch Hashem Li'olam. Because Baruch Hashem Li'olam is a legitimate bracha, and though some people are machmir not to say it, but nevertheless, it's only a chumrah, but the bracha is legitimate bracha made by the Gaonim, what, in Chutz La'aretz. And therefore, a Ben Eretz Yisrael in Chutz La'aretz can say Baruch Hashem Li'olam, if it's a Shliach Tzibur. This individual is not mechuyev. He doesn't have to, perhaps he shouldn't, but in Shliach Tzibur he can. And then we saw that Rav Avadia holds that you say Amen to any bracha if you're Ben Geula Tefillah by Marav. Any bracha that you hear. So therefore, since that's the case, Baruch Hashem Li'olam, which has an additional advantage. It's a legitimate bracha in Chutz La'aretz. And it's also a bracha which is Me'ena Tefillah. Just like Rashba said, you can say Yalav Yavo between Gula and Tefillah of Mariv. So therefore, you should say Amen. This is my conclusion. You should say Amen to Baruch Hashem Li'olam, even if you don't normally say it, when you hear the Shliach Tzibur being Messiah in Shul. Yes.
That's why I heard differently. I think the rabbi who mentions to us doesn't hold that Baruch Hashem Li'olam.
He can't hold that way. He can't hold that way. He has no right to say that. It's is he a Gaon?
In our eyes.
He can't say that. That's the minhag hamakom. We make brachas are based on minhagim. The halacha is mevarach. If there's a minhag to make a bracha,
I think he knows why Ashkenazi says it shouldn't be said.
it's only chumrah not to say it. The groho is not to say it. So that's why the Eretz Yisrael don't say it. But it's a chumrah but it's not the ikra din. The ikra din is to say it in Chutz La'aretz.
I believe what you're saying from your perspective.
What do you mean from my perspective?
No, it's a halacha perspective.
I don't understand. You're not listening. The Gaonim said this bracha. Rashi says this bracha. You know what? The Kavachayim said it. Kavachayim.
But it's not so clear to me that the Chafetz said it religiously.
Kav Chaim was a conservative rabbi.
No, it's like maybe he was in his shul. Like,
Yeah,
and he was like the other people. He said that
it was a closet foosfoos. Yeah.
You know how they were. You said that they were in a shul where like he wouldn't say amen to it, but he would be there when it happened. He would stop.
Give up while you're behind. Yeah.
This is one of the kinds of things he burned for.
Right.
Saying amen to a bracha and not saying amen to a bracha.
Yeah, the Zohar says yes. Yes.
So everyone's mechuyev to be totally understanding every component of the argument back and forth, even though it's something really hot and it's
No, you're right. If you didn't know, if you had not come tonight, you would be a Tinok Shenishba and you wouldn't be as the judge as harshly.
So because I came tonight.
Yes!
Sorry, Yos.
Yes.
Did you? I should not. I replaced it. Say amen to every bracha.
We're not finished yet.
So
We're not finished.
the take-home point is should be.
Wait, that means that most people are Tinok Shenishba about like most things.
That's right.
Like people learn only the basics of halakha, but there's a lot of things
Right.
they can really mess up on.
Right.
Well, this is a pretty problematic thing.
Right.
The more you know.
This is why
Yosif Da'at, Yosif Machov. The more you know, the more pain you get. The more it hurts, yes. Wait. No, it's getting... okay, now at the bottom of page Dalet, this is from the Shevet HaLevi, Reb Vosner, in Reb Nebrak. He says a general principle which is important for us to know. Haklal ba'alochas eila. The general principle is lochsu. The kol tosefes shmi inyan habracha shomid ba. Any tosefes, any addition which is has to do with the bracha that you're saying. Eino nikra mishanim imatbeir shetavu chachamim brachos. Is not called changing the structure which chachamim made in brachos, which is a very severe prohibition. One's not supposed to change the structure. But if it's something which has to do with the bracha, then that's okay. And that's why, according to strict letter of law, in every bracha Shemon Esrei, you could actually add something made in a bracha. Our minhag is not to do that, but one could theoretically do that, according to strict letter of the law. He says, however, there are certain things which are called to change, and you're not allowed to change. Nevertheless, if you did, it doesn't possible to be the Evid. Because you should not have said it, it was bad, but your bracha is still a legitimate bracha. Let's say you said, Kiddush Friday night, and you added more Kiddushin. You said, what's the word? It said, yeah, right. So that's not, you're not supposed to do that, but don't possibly be Evid.
So like in some families I saw they make Kiddush on Chol Hamoed.
Although the whole bracha is a problem. But anyway, Yeshans B'rim Sheposlim Afilu Di'eved. And there's certain things which possible Di'eved, right? V'yeshans B'rim Afilu L'chatchila. This, there's something which you can even change, do L'chatchila, I'm not sure exactly what it means like that. But he says, V'hainu K'mo V'terav. Now this is talking about what the Ashkenazim do, Achenu Ashkenazim, do by when there's Birchas Kohanim on Yontif, right? They say instead of V'sechazena Neinu, they say V'serav L'v'nachal Tzirosenu Kolok Karban Shmeinu Tzalabot Mamish, which is very much like we'd say. So he says, oh, I see, that even the Chatchila is fine. That he says even the Chatchila is fine. Well, you're going to miss it. Which they do in Chutz La'aretz, but not in Eretz Yisrael. I mean, not every, I shouldn't say it. Some places in there, so they do that as well. It would seem a Yachid should not say that. Maybe the Tzibur yes, but not the Yachid. In fact, no Yechidim say it. What if you did say it? Right? Now, you're not the Shnei Tzibur. You're in a private Shmoneh Esrei. And you change the Chasimas HaBrocha. Right? He says in page 5, it's not because it is the same theme as the Chasima of Hamachazir Shchinas L'Tzion. Has to, just like one is avoda, this is also avoda. Because the theme of the bracha is avoda. One anticipates our rebuild base mikdash. The other is that we serve you alone, but they both fit. So therefore, any yachid, who says she'os chavadcha b'yer navod is yotzei the bracha. Certainly at Sibur, since that became the minhag, and minhag is uproots halacha and brachas, it's certainly a legitimate bracha. So therefore, a Sefardi who hears she'os chavadcha b'yer navod must answer amen. What?
It was asur.
Yeah.
Rebecca said it was asur because the bracha wasn't allowed to be said.
But he's wrong.
The reason for saying it's not allowed to be said is because
It's him against Rabbi Shmuel Vosner.
you only allowed to say the bracha is not in the Gemara. Since it's not in the
What?
The bracha is not in the Gemara. Since it's not in the Gemara.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's me'ein habracha. Show him this. Yeah. Now there are a couple of tidbits I want to show you which are not relevant to the. We already clarified the psak. Okay, this is the halacha. This is the halacha to say amen, to say amen. Even when you hear the bracha from the shliach tzibur, to say amen and shos cholavadcha b'yer navod. And by the way, it's nogeh an Ashkenazi. If you go to a Sheva Brochos, I went to a Sheva Brochos. I was given Sefardi Sheva Brochos. I was given bracha achrisa. So it's a very the bracha achrisa by the Sefardim is super halachically problematic because it ends b'sameach chatan v'imakalah umatzliach. Now I don't know if all Sefardim have that, but certainly the Moroccans do. So what? Because it's not, you're not supposed to have in the chasima two themes. So the simcha and hatzlacha, it's difficult.
Where were you at the Sheva Bracha? Because you probably weren't allowed to say Sheva Bracha there anyway.
Right.
Because according to Sparta, you're only allowed to say it the wedding night at the hall, and then only whenever Sheva Bracha is being closed out.
It wasn't the house.
Okay. No, it has to be their house.
It was their house.
No, otherwise, like, it's like so complicated, like, not fair.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That doesn't have matzliach? It does.
It has it in a weird way.
And it says umatzliach.
After the amen.
After the amen.
Interesting. I have to.
If you're doing this,
Hi, Mom. So I didn't know that. That makes sense. It makes sense. They have the amen before matzliach. Anyway, so here also I wanted to show you just a couple of quick things. In the next paragraph, Rav Vosner says, if you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei and you're davening with the shliach tzibur, you came late, so you're doing, one of the shortcuts to tefillah b'tzibur is daven mila b'mila with the shliach tzibur. So he says that it's he says that when you say kedusha with them, you're not supposed to say the middle parts, the piyutim.
But I thought you like a
Wait, the Yaakov thing you mean?
What middle parts? We're talking about.
No. Oz b'kol, Rash Gadol, Dir b'chazak, Mim Kom Kom Alkeinu Sophia, those things you shouldn't say.
Wait, where's that?
Why not?
You're saying Shemona Esrei, you're saying Mila b'Mila with the Shliach Tzibur.
What about a meat there?
Same thing, I
we
guess.
don't say those things.
Drei Kachka Kasuv Leimor.
We never say those anyway.
I've always said it.
But we don't have that now.
No, I've always, what do you mean, you have the Divrei Kachka Kasuv Leimor, don't you?
But you don't say that?
Yeah, no, he said, according to me, don't say that. That's only for the Shliach Tzibur.
But you are shliach tzibur when you start with them.
That's what I always thought, but he's saying not that way.
Even when you're saying Kedusha, you don't say
Who is
that.
he?
Rav Vosner. Yeah.
So he says even when you are saying Kedusha with the Shliach Tzibur, you don't say those.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, it's only for the Shliach Tzibur to say. On Shabbos, it's different. The Shabbos minute became to say those, in the Ashkenazi minute to say those extended parts, but not if you're Milosh Manesri.
If you get to Kedusha, like you still do Kedusha davening, and you get to Kedusha, and there's whole long, Karl.
You only have to be mafsik for Kadosh, Baruch, and Pat Yimloch.
That's the whole thing, though. For the
Because
most part.
Not for the singing in the middle.
No, but then when they start, before there's an Akdisha, and then there's a Kadosh, and there's a whole singing, and then there's Baruch Kavod, and there's
Right, so you stop for Kadosh, Baruch, and Yimloch, not for the singing.
Without saying.
You did that in between. Because that's not part of Kedusha. That's what he's saying, that's the Shliach Tzibur's part. That's not part of Kedusha. Okay?
Can I ask a question again?
No, I just want to finish one more, a couple more things. It's the Tzitz Eliezer says, let's say you are davening, you came to Tzibur's davening, you davening Satmar, right? Rahman al-Islam. You're davening Satmar, Mincha, and they're davening 45 minutes after Shkia, they're davening Mincha. What? Yeah. They're davening 45 minutes after Shkia Mincha, because they daven Mincha for up to an hour after Shkia. That's this for the Satmar Minhag, right?
So it was an hour before,
A minute before
before, like an hour before, Tzei Zachama.
minute before.
No. No. But anyway, they don't go that far. Anyway, it's an hour, officially it's an hour after, 58.5 minutes really, after Shkia. So yeah, you want to say Marv. You say, yes, I'm here, I'm going to have Marv. Say that Mincha. Okay, but I shouldn't be penalized. I'm going to have Marv. So you start, so you came late, and you're still saying Shemona Esrei with the Shliach Tzibur. And while they're doing Mincha, so they have a Kedusha. You don't have a Kedusha. Not supposed to have Kedusha because you're davening Marv. So what do you do? So no. So Tzitz Eliezer says no. It's only
Kedusha's only during the day.
what?
Kedusha's only supposed to be during the day. At nighttime is Angel's turn.
That's not why though. That's how it's supposed to die. The same thing you daven Marv after Plaga Mincha during the day. Same thing. What?
That's what they do.
No, because it's a toes. It's a mistake. According to us, it's a mistake.
When you're sinning, you're sinning.
That the daven Mincha so late, it's a mistake.
It's absurd.
Yeah, but in any event, since you're Marv, you can't say Kedusha with him. Even
That's a better question.
No.
Because I remember said that if you go to a shul where the daven mincha is so late, you're not allowed to be there because you have a safek of benching a minute.
This is an interesting question. It's an interesting question. I would say because they have poskim who paskin for them that way, so therefore you can answer Amen, but it's an interesting question.
He told me for mincha I should walk out and then.
Is this all the same rabbi who's going to be only talking? Wow. Okay. So,
You brought yourself.
That's because you brought Kedusha already.
also,
On Friday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you brought Kedusha, you're not allowed to do Cholin over there.
Because of Kiddush, because there was something on him. He told me that he wanted to.
also he says, let's say it's Shachris or Mincha, and you're up to Mechayim Mason. And they're just throwing Chazaras or shots. No, regular people. So you're saying, you're in the middle. You start Reish Shmoneh Esrei, and you're up to Mechayim Mason, and they're starting Shmoneh Esrei, so you want to wait for the Chazan to get to Mechayim Mason. What? So Mechayim Mason, in order to say Kedusha with him? No. He has to continue on. Now what I do sometimes, what I do is no, you're stuck, you have to keep davening. You don't have permission. So what I do is, since as we all know, the Shliach were very often davens very fast, so there, and I like saying the first bracha at least a little bit slower, so I start the first bracha, but I'm not messiahing the first bracha. So we finish the first bracha together. Then I go on with him. Okay? Fast, yeah.
What's the shot?
Well, the first bracha says they have to have more kavanah than the rest of
The
the
second time say. First and
No, it's not. It's just the first one. No, it's just the first one. So he says, okay, and now he says, nafkamina from this, then there's important nafkamina. Says that yours, let's say, Dami the Koisel, or in the Shtiblach. The Kotel.
There's a lot of other minyanim.
And there are a lot of other minyanim. And you're in Kedusha for the next minyan. Vizhne, it's Satmar. Shtibel literally means room. A shtiblach are multiple rooms where there's multiple davenings going on. Okay?
And what we're hearing things?
You're hearing from them Kedusha, right? So he says, this is the suffix the entire year, right? So he says, Kaf HaChaim says that you can answer. And he said, but he says not to. He says, so he says that, well, Yachid should not interrupt and say, he says, not interrupt and say Kedusha with the next minion next to him.
Well, where is this?
What is that a minion?
Oh, when he starts Shemona Esrei also with them?
What?
When he's starting Shemona Esrei and they're there? Like, what's the situation exactly? He's davening what? Where's the guy davening?
Yeah, he's Mil Shemona Esrei, right.
In the middle of Shemona Esrei?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back in the middle or so by
By Mechayim Mason.
Oh.
Has to be your Shliach Tzibor in your minion.
Let's say you're Sefardi Jew in that minion, and you hear them start saying Kedusha, and you're in like Sukkot de Zimmer.
As soon as Zimmer, you can stop.
Your whole thing has to stop Kedusha. Or your Sefardi Jew can keep going.
The Shliach Tzibor, I don't know if Shliach Tzibor to stop because he's not listening to them, right? He's saying out loud.
I have a question about
Yeah.
being Shliach Tzibor, just in general. It just actually happened to me last night at Vision. So I was offered Yama.
What? Don't take it.
Would I then have to dive to their pronunciation?
You offered the Amr in Vishnus?
Yes.
What?
It's happened to me too.
It never happened.
You didn't have a cartel?
No.
But what is
Just the same way
There's
I
support
am.
now.
No, but when you're
It's not- I'm
there's not
Were you
always
wearing a hat?
No.
there's not always a
This is the same way I'm dressed right
Wait,
now.
how good?
there's not always a possible in the room. There's not always a possible.
I would say that to take the Amr under those circumstances of Vishnus might be Sakonis Nefashos. I don't think they were setting you up to stone you. I don't think you should take it.
They have signs on the wall that say you have to use our
Yeah.
and our.
But theoretically, would I use their pronunciation? I of course have to use their nusach. Would I use their pronunciation?
No. Yes, they have signs. They have signs.
The pronunciation.
Goes off.
Yeah, the pastor says they're not makbid on that.
The pronunciation they're not active.
Yeah.
Would I have to switch at least to Ashkenaz?
Yes.
I switched to Ashkenaz, but not to
The only person posek who held that even though you go to the Amr in another shul, you're supposed to have your own nusach is guess who?
Or Yosef.
No. What's your fun?
Oh, Bellhopper?
Sir Satmar.
Getting closer.
Why was your Rebbe?
Of all the people, I didn't do that.
What? No. No. The Lubavitch Rebbe says it's better for you to daven your own nusach, but gadol hashalom. Now this is a very difficult sock because you're saying to your chassid daven nusach hari, but gadol hashalom is good, important to keep the peace. So what do? What does it mean it's important to keep peace at what price?
Well, his opinion is that our new sock is better than all of the new socks.
Right, so that's why.
Everybody.
Right, so Lubavitchers will very often, even if they're in Ashkenazi or other type of Hasidic shul, daven their own nusach, but everybody else holds it's wrong.
Isn't that like unmentioned guys to do that?
That's why he says, go to Hashalom.
But the fact that you decide not to go to Hashalom.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so then theoretically.
But I just want to point out one problem which I have. A problem I have, personally, which I've never seen the answer to, is you finish whatever you flew, Shomer HaMay Yisrael, Baruch Hashem Elohim, and you don't hear a chazan, but you hear other yechidim around you saying the end of the bracha. Do you have to answer amen under those circumstances?
No.
I've never seen anybody be makbid on it, but I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why you wouldn't say amen under those circumstances.
You say amen all night. Amen.
Okay, that's not an excuse. So you say amen all night, big deal. So I try to zone out when tune out when other people are saying the end of the bracha, like hum or something, because I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in this situation. Libi, I'm really that you shouldn't answer that you shouldn't answer amen, but I can't say exactly why.
Kira.
Yeah.
So if we go to Rabbi Avan or Rabbi Hakakim, what do we tell him?
Tell them there are 2 shiurim at TorahAnytime.com.
Is it like a step-by-step process, like it was shorter?
I recorded it, but
Rabbi Avadia says you should say brachas to every single bracha there is, amen, during Shema Shema Zama Shalad, so Pokadish. Basically, no. Do you want to take a look in Kitzur Avadia?
Kitzur Avadia? That's the midget Ovadia Yosef? Kitzur Ovadia?
Yes, 5 foot nothing.
Yeah. Okay.